Oh, hello there, YouTube fans, and this show is going out at 6 o'clock tonight Eastern Time, worldwide, 12th of September 2023. So today's show is called An Experience Which Changed My Attitude, and we're going to do a DVD review of Les lavandes et les reseda, Les Chroniques d'un village français pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale, un magnifique fresque d'un village provençal à l'ère de la Résistance. So, it's in 1944, and there are two German soldiers are stationed in Luberon, but it's not considered to be a political target. So, Luberon, if you know it, is where all the lovely lavender fields are. And it is occupied France, so the resistance want them out of the village, and they're just holed up in a town hall like a mairie, and they have radio with their superiors, you see, and they get all the commands from the radio. And until there would be a shooting match in, we'll say, Marseille airport or somewhere that was a centre of population around the time of the liberation of Provence, but they were just waiting for the order to liberate Provence, But they had to keep the position. Do you follow? So they weren't really a belligerent, like they weren't going around shooting people or whatever. Though the resistance did try and do a few jobs to take them out of it, all right. So like it just shows the humanity of war. Imagine like a British soldier stationed in West Cork in the early 1920s who fell in love with an Irish colleen, an Irish young woman. And she would originally be considered a traitor, but it turns out he's more decent. In other words, that in war we're all losers, and while pride comes before a fall, pride is an important thing, but it stirs up war. Warmongers use pride to stir up war, you see. And the British Isles war between England and Ireland is a civil war, and the Alsace civil war over the Alsace territory between Germany and France is a civil war, and the war in the 38th parallel between North Korea and South Korea is a civil war, and the war in the South China Sea between Japan and China is a civil war between Mandarin speakers as well. So war we all lose is the motto of this film. And you see you see the humanity of people at the start. The soldiers, one of them is this fellow, George Class. He's supposed to be kind of handsome and charismatic, and you see there, look, there's the priest and the mayor and some of the guys playing boules are kind of socializing with them in the end. At the start, they're ostracized. Somebody attacks their car. They're holed up on the hot summer days, listening to the radio, going crazy, drinking wine and everything. They go to the resistance bar. They go to the village bar where the men drink Ricard, and they spike their drink and give them the wrong drink just to play a trick on them, and your man gets very sick in the sunshine. But then there's kind of aspects of humanity start to emerge between the villagers and their occupiers, and they realize that they don't want to war with them at all. And I think there's a perception here, like, who do you want to run the Foreign Office, the Sorbonne or Avignon Theatre Group? Because Avignon Theatre Group are too soft on the Germans. But who would you like to be friends with, really, Avignon Theatre Group or the Sorbonne? You choose, it's kind of that Parisians are dehumanized from war by philosophy, and Provence people, as I said in my book, the North make the laws, the South make love. As I said in Governed by Love, my book published under Jabba Jack Cross name in 2018. So they sort of, I remember there's this thing, there's like a fountain in the village and a kind of a river where the women wash the clothes, and of course the soldiers have to wash their own clothes as they've no maid servants to do it. And like there's one day when he runs out of soap or a brush, and the woman borrows him a brush, and then they go up and they decide to play the boules, and they find out the ugly guy, the fat guy, is really good at boules, and he's putting on bets and winning money for the mayor, and in the end the resistance and them are living in one another's pockets throughout the summer. So Provence is liberated then at the end, and They go home to Essen or North Rhine-Westphalia, wherever they're from, and about 3 years later, um, a kind of one of those Volkswagen camper van things, that you see going around in the 1970s and 80s on tours, comes into the village, and it has a German rage place, and there's a man and his girlfriend, and they ask a local farmer for jobs picking lavande la reseda, the local crops, the lavande and the reseda, as kind of a foxer, and your man is identified then as George Class, the German soldier who was good to the Provence people, and it's just a lovely film. It really changed my attitude. It really changed my attitude towards saber rattling rhetoric mongers who just want war, and you realize that like this person here, and these the two soldiers there, you see them there, are not the monsters that they're made out to be. I think that's the girl there with the. I mean, that's a very romantic picture of her cycling, but she gets a puncture and he fixes her puncture, and that's how the line starts with her. Then and you might say that she could be cursed to hell by hardcore resistance, or like the IRA or the resistance, or whatever it is. The North Korean army or something could curse. There's that thing of why don't you get your own girls kind of a thing. But that's not what it's about at all. It's kind of more like that's just a symbol of how uh, it's a TV series. You see, it's I really recommend you can get this on Amazon or you might be able to get it on Amazon.co.uk or .de, so I don't know. 3 episodes of 90 minutes each. It's a lovely film, and you should watch it really. If you're German or French or just British or Irish, really change your life.